Chapter 3 Teen Years. My teen years started halfway through the 7th grade. I turned 13. 7th grade wasn't really much to talk about. I wore a leather jacket for some reason as a winter coat in New York, upstate New York, because I thought it looked cool. Going through finishing the cycle of puberty about that time, nothing really major. 8th grade is when things started to change. I did poorly in school. I didn't do any homework. I didn't want to. I had better things to do than do homework. I had a thing for school. School was school. I learned what I needed to do to pass the test, and then the homework was just trying to get me to do more school. I didn't want to do it. This caused a problem because I procrastinate, push everything off. I would get 4 report cards during the year, and I would get a report card, and I'd fail everything but gym and math. And my stomach would turn in knots because I'd have to go home and show my parents that I'm just wasting time. And it hurt me to hurt them, but for some reason, trying to do schoolwork, I couldn't do it. I just didn't want to do it. Didn't have any motivation to do it. This was all the way up till in high school. My last 2 years, I finally turned it around. I took criminal justice. It took 2 years of criminal justice. I took it in the afternoon, and then the next year I took it in the morning because it was kind of an upper class. It was upper class and lower class. Taking criminal justice changed my perspective of homework around. I changed it. I really wanted to be a police officer. I did. I watched Bad Boys one too many times. I'm going to be honest. I thought I would make detective, narcotics. I've watched a lot of narcotics movies, and that would be me. I would have the fame of taking down big cartels and all this fantasy in my head. I took criminal justice and realized that most of the time spent is going to be spent behind a desk doing paperwork. Everything you do as a police officer has paperwork. Pull out your gun, paperwork. Traffic stop, paperwork. Domestic, everything. Any call, domestic dispute call, paperwork. And the number two causes of death for police officers are routine traffic stops and domestic violence disputes. Routine traffic stops, they tried to teach us that everything wasn't routine. And it kind of makes sense why everybody is kind of on edge when you see it on a routine traffic stop, because once you get in the habit of thinking everything's routine and you let your guard down, that's when you miss something, you miss a sleight of hand that somebody pulled the gun out of the glove box, because not everything is routine. So they showed us that most of the time with domestic violence is when they get there, they realize that the person that called the cops on is going away for a long time, and they get really agitated at that point, and they don't want you to take that person from them. So, and that being said, I decided that I was going to graduate, get my degree from criminal justice from BOCES, and not be a police officer. And then my mom motivated me with the first year was my senior year. I'll explain in a little bit. $50 if I didn't miss school. Didn't miss a day of school. I was like, challenge accepted. And I went and I didn't miss a day of school. My super senior year. I'll explain why I was super senior. She offered me, it was $50 to keep a 85 average. I had 2 classes I was taking, so that was perfect, and I did my very best. If we take it back, freshman year was okay. I had my friends from middle school, and I met some new ones. I did have to walk. I know this is cliche. About 2 miles back and forth to work from work, back and forth from school, every day because where I lived was on the line of your children can go to West High School or your children go to East High School. And right there on the line, there was no buses. So I walked to school. And I walked home all 5 years. And it was good. I never complained about it. I went to bed on time and I woke up and I went to school. I met a lot of people. A lot of teachers seen potential in me and they helped me. I took BOCES because I failed Spanish year 2, and they're like, okay, well, if you want to graduate, you can take BOCES as an alternative, and it'll cover your Spanish and your your woodshop class and band. It'll cover all 3. So I wanted to be a cop, and it would cover Spanish, foreign language, which I was having difficulty with. So I did that. That was extremely fun. I loved it. We wore a uniform. We had PT, physical training. We had PT tests every Friday. We did a mile run, push-ups and sit-ups, just like the police officers have to do. And then, if everybody passed, which we usually did, pizza party. We got the patrol and the criminal justice car. We got a criminal justice dog. It was a black lab. We got called Shaken Bits because we weren't pig jet. We also had to patrol the campus area, give tickets for cars that weren't supposed to be there, like actual tickets that they had to pay to the school. You manned the desk. You rode bikes. Like, I had a lot of fun. The morning class put the American flag up. The afternoon class took the American flag down. It was a great time. I learned a lot. I learned that because at this time I also took business law. So both taught me that you don't need to know the ins and outs of the law. You just need to know where you can find it. Transitioning into business law was fun. I also wanted to be a lawyer. Back then I wanted to know the law so I could find the loopholes in this stuff. I knew there were loopholes, and I figured if I knew the law, that I can find it. Wasn't really a book reader in high school, except for business law. I read the Rainmaker. That was a fantastic book. And it taught, and I was in 10th grade, and he was like, are you sure you want to take this class? Because we mostly have juniors and seniors in this class. And I was like, yes, my mother took it. I can take this. And I gave it my all, and I passed. One of the only courses that math. The thing about high school, the thing about learning was that if it didn't make sense to me, I didn't give it any effort. Math made sense to me because numbers never change. It's always steady. Money talks no matter where you are. Business law made sense to me because I was practical and I can use it. Criminal justice made sense to me because it was my career path and I can use it. English didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand why I had to write an essay telling you my thoughts, and then you want to criticize me for the way I write it and the misspellings. I was already behind in my spelling and reading at this point. So trying to catch up, trying to see the justification in doing all this became harder and harder as I got older. Did love some of the novels we read. Loved Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet. I guess Shakespeare is a really good writer. Then you had stuff like poems, like Edgar Allan Poe. That was good. Like, I understand teaching somebody how to read and write, fundamentals of English. That makes sense to me. I didn't understand all the other stuff that came with it. So I struggled. Science I didn't struggle with until they kind of messed with me. Science is the reason why I was a super senior. I had taken biology. Me and my friend Chris, we took biology. We messed with the biology teacher. She hated the noise that the music the monkeys played when they came on the scene from Wizard of Oz. You have to do so many labs in order to take the final exam. I was one lab short. I also offered to eat everything for like $1 in that class. So I was one lab short from taking the final exam. She had told me, bring the book in, bring me the book, bring me the lab. You could take the final exam. I'll grade it right there. Everything went good. I took the final exam. I had passed enough to go to summer school. I had taken biology in summer school. I had aced the final exam in summer school, which was the same final exam we took earlier. I got like a 96. So here I am excited. Halfway through my junior year, halfway through, about January, early January, they tell me that the biology credit does not count and is too far along in the year to take it. And I already had my classes packed for my senior year. I couldn't add it to my senior year. So they're like, and I couldn't take it in summer school again. Summer school did not count. So they're like, you're coming back. And at this point, we were trying to do, in 12th grade, we're going to do half 11th grade English, all senior English. And then I was going to test out in January of the 11th grade English. They told me that I was coming back for another year after being a senior. So I was like, all right, then I just want to take full English then. And super senior, I took English and earth science. English went by without a breeze because I had 2 classes and I went home for the day. So I usually sat at the library and made sure that my stuff got done. In the library, there was a class, and they helped me all year, all 4 years. They had helped me with my English, so they were happy to have me stay after, and they helped me. They are the reasons why I passed English. That and Chris is the reason why I passed English. He did all of my English homework for about a year. So I get done, and then earth science was easy. At one point, I taught a lesson. Like, I was in there with a bunch of freshmen, 9th and 10th graders, and my teacher really wanted to look for a bike on eBay, so he had trusted me to teach the lesson, and I did. Like, I had my homework done every day. Everything was perfect. I aced both the classes. I got better than an 85. Friends in high school. I had a group of friends. We were all different. I hung out with stoners. I hung out with Hicks. Hicks were my favorite. They don't judge anybody. I had a group of friends, all around. I hung out with jocks. I hung out with preps. I hung out with nerds. I hung out with everybody. I got along with everybody in high school, and I didn't get along with some people in high school. My sister had followed, when she got to high school, it became a little bit harder to get along with certain people because she would be hanging out with somebody's boyfriend, and that would make somebody mad. There's a fight. She would have to tell somebody no. There's a fight. I got into 2 fights that really stick out in my head. The first fight, Chris's cousin had been stalking a mutual friend of ours, and she didn't like it. She kept telling him no, and he wasn't taking the hint. So I confronted him, and they had a bathroom that was divided by a wall. Like, it was girls on one side, boys on the other side. We started in the middle. We started fighting. We had gotten on the ground. He was punching me in the face, and for some reason, his hits were making me laugh. No joke, he wasn't hitting me hard at all. And I just kept begging for more. And then when it was finally broken up, we had realized it had gotten even more funny because we were in the girls' bathroom. Right in the middle of the girls' bathroom. Big old crowd in the middle of the girls' bathroom. And I'm laughing. The second fight, this kid, he was harassing one of my friends. And then he had stomped on my sister's foot. She had been wearing flip-flops. And he stomped on her foot. And he had bruised it and peeled some of the skin off. So I confronted him on what we called Smoker's Corner. One of the girls had given me a lighter to hold in my hand so I can ball up a fist. And for some reason, looking at him, I didn't deck him. I bitch smacked him with my hand clenched as a fist. And I just kept wailing on the side of his face. I broke his earrings. And he went and told on me. And we both got suspended. 2 days of in-school suspension. That was really fun. It was up at Bosie's, and I had 2 days of doing nothing but schoolwork. I did happen to go to the prom. That was good. But other than that, I got along with people in high school. I avoided Freshman Friday because I was so tall they didn't think I was a freshman. As far as girlfriends go, I had a couple in high school. I dated some of my sister's friends. I had tried to date my best friend forever. Like, we'd known each other forever. So we decided to go out. And it didn't work. We were too good of friends, so we left it at that. But that was an experience. My grandfather always picked on me that when the Prestons came over, we came from Preston, England, and he had come over with about 14 daughters. So I had to be careful not to date anybody I might be related to. And he always picked on me like that. It was his little joke. Other than that, I had a steady kind of off and on again girlfriend, which I'll talk about in a later chapter. I had gone through some changes in high school. I was trying to find myself. I did it. My wardrobe was black. I had black wardrobe. I had jeans. I didn't really wear shorts. I had some cargo pants. I thought that was cool. But black t-shirts, like non-stop, black on black, and listen to goth music. If you listen to my top 8, you can hear my bands. Green Day. Then I listen to like a lot of punk bands. I listen to Three Doors Down. I know they're not a punk band. I listened to Limp Bizkit. Listened to Limp Bizkit a lot. I was very angry. At that point in high school, I thought that me being nice to everybody, that the world owed me something. I should be getting something in return. And I wasn't. All I was doing was showboating and being cocky. And it didn't help. It didn't help me keep me out of trouble. It didn't. So, trying to find me, I ended up being semi-gothic. That was not, looking back at it, wasn't a good idea. However, it did shape me to be the person I am. So I had to go through the ups and downs of high school in order to be me, who I am today. I didn't do any activities with school. I was anti-school all the way. So no sports, no extracurricular activities. My best friend did move schools. I had gone to stay the night at his house a bunch of times. He was on the academic team, and I had joined their practices sometimes. Their coach was upset with me for not answering a question. I knew that everybody else in the class didn't because they hadn't gotten that far in the book yet. One of my favorite books in high school was The Great Gatsby. That book stuck with me. We spent so much time on colorism that I still use it today. Foreshadowing, one of my favorite things. So, I had a wide variety of friends in high school. I was anti high school, and it made for a weird experience. I didn't do activities after school with the school. However, I did play football in the backyard with my friends, baseball in the backyard with my friends. I went everywhere in Corning on my 24-inch bicycle. Like, it was a mixture of stuff. It had its ups and downs, and all in all, it was a great experience, which led me to me. And this is the end of chapter 4. Or 3. End of chapter 3.